Welcome to Climbing the Mountain, a video podcast featuring WVU football players and coaches during Spring Practice 2022. Presented by Country Roads Trust and Encova Insurance. Here are your hosts, Amanda Mazey and Dale Wolfley.
This Climbing the Mountain video podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. Welcome into Climbing the Mountain, a video podcast all about WVU Spring Football Practice 2022, brought to you by Country Roads Trust, West Virginia's name, image, and likeness team, and Encova Insurance. I'm your co-host, Amanda Mazey, along with Dale Wolfley. And Wolf, I tell you what, we are in the last episode of this whole video podcast. We followed spring practice. What do you think? What were your thoughts of spring game?
Well, I thought it was exciting.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Graham Harrell in the offense that he showed out there, taking the deep shots. I thought it made it a lot of fun for the players. They seemed to really enjoy it, feed off of it. And certainly the audience, the Mountaineer Nation of it, that aspect, certainly enjoyed it. So they're excited. I thought it was a great spring game just to kick off and give a lot of enthusiasm going into the season.
Absolutely. So we hope that this whole series really got you excited about football and gave you some inside knowledge. Wolf, I can't thank you enough for your knowledge because you have the kind of football knowledge that I will never, ever have, and I can admit that, so I appreciate everything. Don't forget that you can follow us on social media, and Country Roads Trust will be providing more content like this in the future, so make sure you're up to date on social media and our website, countryroadstrust.com, for all of the good stuff. Follow it, right? Follow Wolf, follow Country Roads Trust, everything.
Absolutely.
And one more thing real quickly. Of course, Country Roads Trust did announce that we are partnering up with Rex Global to provide a fan subscription service. So keep up to date on that. You can go to join.countryroadstrust.com for more information. That's a lot. So coming up next, we are going to just go ahead and start with the head Coach Neal Brown, and get his thoughts on the spring and spring game. That is coming up next. Stay with us. This Climbing the Mountain video podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. Welcome back to Climbing the Mountain. It is now time to interview head coach Neal Brown. And Wolf, we have Coach in the house. And Coach, first of all, what did you think about the spring game? I'm sure you've had a chance to watch the film, but your thoughts on just the overall game.
Yeah, first of all, appreciate y'all having me. Glad to be back. It doesn't seem very long ago when we did the first one of these, right?
I know.
And then y'all have had a bunch of our guys on here, which we appreciate. And but no, the spring game was a success. You know, just talking about it big picture wise. Obviously, we had great weather. I thought our fan turnout was really strong. We were able to raise good funds for the Children's Hospital, which is really important. It was very cool. You know, we had about 20 or so families of patients, either current or former patients at the Children's Hospital, so being able to spend that day with them. And then we had a bunch of recruits here. We had all our signees that I say most of our signees, not all of them, but most of our signees that are going to be here at the beginning of June were here. And so just big picture-wise, I thought it was a great day for our program. And then on the field, I was pleased. And spring games are sometimes a mixed bag. You know, we went into it, wanted to play clean football. You know, we have relatively few penalties. I thought we executed offensively, even though we were rotating quarterbacks, which makes it difficult sometimes. But I thought the quarterbacks really rose to the occasion and played pretty well with the television audience there and the people that were in the stands. And I thought defensively we played pretty. We got in good position and tackled when we were playing with the second group there. And then I thought our first group really got in nice position where they could have made several plays. So I thought it was a success. I was pleased. We didn't get anybody hurt. Nobody got any significant injuries, and I thought it showed well. I went back and watched the broadcast, which I appreciate y'all being a part of, and I thought it was very well done. And I thought it looked like clean football.
Yeah, you know, I really thought so too, Coach. And it was nice to see the quarterbacks, as young as they are, step up in front of a live audience, of course, a big TV market, and really go out there and perform and had their own strengths. And they did some good stuff out there. So again, introducing the Graham Harrell offense.
Yeah.
And, you had to have been happy to see it have some success because that made for some fun football.
Yeah, we wanted to stress all spring, hey, we need to be more explosive. We got to make some plays down the field. We've got good speed and we've got good length, with Bryce and KP on the outside. And we've really, for 15 practices, really tried to push the ball downfield. So it was really a positive to see them in a stadium with the crowd and go up and make some of those plays. And the quarterbacks have had a lot of pressure. People forget, these are college students and they're both competing to be, or all three of them are competing to be starters for the first time. And all eyes are on them. And, whether it's this podcast or it's one of the first questions that every media availability you have, it's always about the quarterbacks. And they're on social media. They feel the pressure. They're not immune to it. And so for them to go out and really, outside of a couple bad decisions, operate pretty cleanly. I think it's a credit to them. And the game's really important to them. They all three love West Virginia. They love the competition. They're being good teammates, and they made progress. And so they got to continue to do that. But and Graham has been a real positive addition to us. I think he's got kind of a quiet confidence. I talked about this a couple weeks ago. Very humble, but he's got a good swagger about him, and I think our kids have really taken to him. They enjoy playing. I'll tell you a funny story. So Ansley's 11, and on Sunday morning we've got our soccer. We're playing soccer, right? And a buddy of mine, one of the parents, he comes up and he's like, "Yeah, I had to work on Saturday, but I had it on and I'm waiting for him to say, man, Bryce Ford Wheaton, he did a heck of a job, man. He really had a good day." And or hey, Dante, I know he had a couple tackles for a loss, and they're like, "I'll tell you what, that Wolf does a great job." So I'm like, "Oh man, Wolf, I'm serious. That's the first fan. They're like, "Man, Wolf killed it on the broadcast." I'm serious. I thought it was cool.
Well, it's a lot easier to kill when the guys in the field are killing it, because if they're not performing, my goodness, that's not so much fun in the broadcasting world. But that reminds me though, Coach, I think this is the first game where, you kind of left the controls to Graham and of course to Jordan. And how was that for your first time out there, being the CEO, but, really doing a lot of observing?
Yeah. So I stayed out of the way and really trying to manage. So as you all know, we've got 2 hours, man. The spring game is a TV production, right? So we went 2:01. So I misjudged it by 1 minute, but no, it's a production. So, and I think it's really important for the spring game that everyone has an opportunity. And so I thought in this spring game, the quarterback reps with the ones was something we wanted to make sure was even. We wanted to make sure that they all had relatively the same number of reps. You can't get them all exactly the same, but we wanted to try to get them as close as we could. And then we wanted to make sure everyone had an opportunity to play. And so, and then we had that 2 hour time frame that we needed to do that as well. So I just sat back and managed it. The way we did it, I really enjoyed how we did it. I think the players liked it, where we split into two distinct teams. They had a big time with Chad Scott being the head coach and Andrew Jackson being the head coach, and then Graham called it for one side, Sean Reagan called it for the other. Jordan Leslie called it on one side of the defense, and then Shadon Brown called it on the other side. So there was really true division there. And so it added some competitive nature to it. And part of that is I have to police that as well, because, sometimes they want to do a little bit more tackling than they should. Sometimes I wanted to stay real vanilla. We weren't going to motion on offense. We weren't going to do anything on defense where we blitzed, and they're trying to sneak things in, trying to win the game. So I'm like, hey, guys, listen, main thing is it needs to look good, and our players need to have confidence coming out. So, but no, it was a fun day, and I enjoyed that piece of it.
Let's talk about Preston Fox on the field. He had a standout day. I think the fans were excited, maybe a little shocked because he's not somebody who, is really well known. He will be, it sounds like. So talk about his performance that day, and also the scholarship afterwards. Was that planned? Was that on the fly? Like, that was a really special moment.
Yeah, so Preston, he's still signing autographs here a couple days later.
I just saw him out in the parking lot, actually.
No doubt. Yeah, he's probably still got a crowd around him, right? Hometown hero. And I told him, I met with him a little while ago. I was like, it does get better than this, right? I mean, like, this can't be the peak, okay? So But no, the best moment for me, like so he's made a bunch of contested catches during the spring. So before I went to that soccer game on Sunday, I'm running on my treadmill at home, trying to just to maintain, right? I'm not doing anything special. I'm just running on my treadmill, and I'm watching Sports Center, and they're doing the top 10, and all of a sudden they're at the number 2 spot is Preston Fox. Morgantown High's Preston Fox. And I about fell off the treadmill, man. I was like, this is so cool. But no, so it got to a point probably at some point or during week 3, of spring practice, where Preston had progressed enough and to get a scholarship. This way we always think about it. First of all, character-wise, you got to be doing the right things. Second of all, academically, you got to be in good standing. Third thing is you got to have the intangibles necessary. Then the fourth thing is you got to be productive and either be starting on 2 or more special teams or be in the 2 deep. And so Preston has always done well academically. He's done well character-wise. He's got the intangibles. And he had shown through 3 weeks of spring that he had an opportunity to be in the 2 deep, and he was probably going to be at least 2-team special teams player. And so then I think there's some good spontaneous action sometimes. And so he went and made that play. The guys were fired up. It was fresh in their mind. I knew his parents were at the game. I think that's something we really try to do is bring the parents in, because who's sacrificing for the last 2 years of school that he's, I'd love to tell you Preston's paying for it out of his pocket, but that's not the case, right? His parents have sacrificed for that. So we try to bring the parents in and let them be a part of that. And for them to come in the locker room and then for our team to experience that with Preston and his family was really special.
When did you tell the parents? Like, was this like during the game, before
the
game?
I sent Patrick Johnston, who's our director of football operations. I sent him up and I said, hey, let's go find – I know Preston's mom and dad are here, I'm sure. Let's get them to meet us outside the locker room, and we'll have something special for them. So Patrick got the scholarship paperwork done kind of in the fourth quarter. We found his parents, and we went with it.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, talk
fun.
about like the icing on the cake. Preston didn't even know like that performance and just the scholarship, and what a great day for him.
I hate to say it, but I think I'm the only one that cries.
No, I cried. I was just like, when you were just talking about the parents sacrificing, like I had tears in my eyes.
It never gets tiring to see. No, it really doesn't. And what was so cool about that was the team. You didn't even have to say his name.
They
already knew
Yeah.
that it was PF. And Coach. So with that being said, this is the 6th podcast that we've done here. As you know, you started out with us, and every single one of the players have talked about how great the locker room is, how great it's about the team, how great it's not this click over here and that click here. It's bigger clicks, bigger, half and half, defense hanging with offense. I can just keep going on down the list because we've had so much of it.
Right.
And just talk about that locker room, because you could see with Preston Fox just how happy they were for a teammate. It was awesome.
Well, we've made some intentional changes this semester, and there's a lot going on in college athletics, man. And it's not just football; it's men's basketball. It's across the board, and it's getting harder. It's really getting harder. It's getting harder as a student athlete, and you're getting pulled in so many different directions. And there's the transfer portal. There's name, image, likeness, and so we're intentional about this spring semester. Is okay. Let's get back to the main things. Let's keep the main things, and let's do it in an environment where we can have fun. Okay. And that's what we've really been intentional about. And we had some addition, or we had some subtraction, or addition by subtraction is the best way to put it. And not necessarily bad guys, just guys with some agendas. And I think that our guys have rallied around. We're working at a high level. I think when you have an opportunity where some of your best players are your best people, and your hardest workers, and you got a chance to be successful. And so I think our staff's had a lot to do with it. They've been intentional about relationships. That's something we've got to continue to build on. And it's been a more enjoyable experience for our players and for our staff. This has been a fun group to coach. Are we a perfect? By no means. Do we have a lot of work to do before Pittsburgh? Absolutely. Does having a locker room that's probably more united guarantee wins? No, I wish it would, but I think it does create momentum. And we've got a group where we're going to add 18 scholarship players and probably 15 or more walk-on this summer, and we've got to continue to grow that unity. We've got to add some pieces, without a doubt. We've got our first group is really good, probably on both sides, but we've got to add some depth. We've got to create depth by either maturing the guys that are here, or we got to go get some pieces. But it's a fun group. I like where we're at. I understand that we're not a finished product, though.
You're watching Climbing the Mountain, sponsored by Encova Insurance, and circling you with coverage. Coach, final question from me. When do you start to get excited about the fall and about the season starting?
Yeah, so I think it kind of builds. There's a couple different points for me is, really the focus now is on our guys finishing academically, and retaining the majority of our roster. We probably won't retain them all, but retaining the majority of our roster. And then how they handle the month of May. It's important. Like, the month of May is the biggest chunk of time that football student athletes get off, and they need it. It's rest, relaxation. They need it to get away and decompress a little bit. And then we come back in June, and that's when some momentum builds, because then you have really probably 95% of your football team that you're going to have in the fall. That's the first time they're together. Okay. And then the coaching staff, there's a recruiting dead period. And when the coaching staff comes back toward the end of July, then there's another build of momentum. And then you get in fall camp. And so, like I said, I like this group. It's a fun group to coach. But we have work to do. And we're going to hit pause here for a little bit, let them do finals, let them get away from a while. And then when we get back on Memorial Day, it's kind of when we kick this thing off again. And we've got 8 weeks to get ready for fall camp.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll wrap it up with this. How good was the steak for the victors?
So listen to this. This changing world, Wolf. Like, you and I win, we're choosing steak. I know you are. Like, and I am too. I'm choosing steak. These guys, they're choosing boneless wings and wings.
I heard about this.
Yeah,
actually.
they went because the captains of the winning team got to choose.
Really?
And they went wings, pizza. Now our people here, our performance chef that's at our training table and our nutritionist, they do a really good job. Now they do a mean homemade pizza, and they like this sauce that the guys that they whip up, and so they went wings and pizza.
That's awesome.
You can't deny it. You can't beat wings. I mean, steak, it's okay. But, wings are like a really close second. So
Yeah.
I'll go with that as well.
All right, Neal Brown, thank you so much for joining us. And we can't thank you enough for your access to your coaching staff, your players, allowing us to be in this audio booth. It was a pleasure, and we hope we portrayed your program the way you want it to be portrayed. The guys were amazing, and we appreciate everything that you
Appreciate
let
y'all's
us do.
time. Appreciate
Yeah.
everybody listening. Look forward to getting this rolling again, okay? Thank you all.
All right. Thanks a lot, Head Coach Neal Brown. All right, Wolf. So I'm going to kick you out for a little while because we have a special treat. We're going to have some guest hosts, football players in this seat. They have big shoes to fill. That is coming up on our next segment of Climbing the Mountain. Stay with us, everyone. This Climbing the Mountain video podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. All right, welcome back to Climbing the Mountain, a video podcast brought to you by Encova Insurance and Country Roads Trust. And with me, this guy, Jared Bartlett. Welcome to the studio. Welcome to this side of the studio.
Thank you for having me. I feel like I fit better on this side anyway.
You think so? You're going to push all the buttons and do a little
push the
remix after this?
Do a little remix, make a beat. And my freestyle, part 2 coming up. So,
So you were on the other side of the glass already. Yes. What was that like for you, and what's it like to be the guy asking the questions now?
I feel like this side's a little more official because, I'm really running things. Although this isn't scripted, keep in mind. This is all off the dome. So
I did tell them, I said, come with a list of questions, so we'll see. Let me ask you this first. How did you feel spring practice went?
I feel like spring practice went amazing. It was a very productive time period to get better, and we definitely did that as a team.
Good stuff. All right, now we're going to welcome our guests in, Jordan White and Brian Polendey. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this week. First questions first. How did spring practice go for you guys? How did you feel you did, and what you got out of it?
Want to go first?
Sure. I felt like it went great. I mean, the biggest thing for me was staying healthy. I've had some injuries in the past in my career, but I managed to make it through, and I felt like I got a lot better, and it was just fun to get to know my teammates better, get to know the offense better, and I just had a blast being out there every day.
Well, for me, playing offensive line is not the same position as everybody else, so it was more of a growing experience for me this offseason with Polendey coming in playing tight end with us. He's an incoming guy, so it's been big for him being with the offensive line, building with us. So I think as offensive line, we came in, did our job this spring, and we're just working to build off of it.
Now, Brian, this is your third school in 6 years. You started at Miami and then went to Colorado State, and now you're here. Why so many schools, and what led you to West Virginia?
So I started my career off at Miami, and the reason why I left Miami, I was just looking for more development, more playing time, and I found that at Colorado State, but then with the coaching change there, I decided it was in my best interest to change schools once again and finish my career here. So, yeah, I'm just excited to be here, and I look forward to the fall.
What's the biggest difference between Miami and coming to West Virginia?
For one, the weather. I mean, we were talking about that before we got in the studio. In Miami, it's just hot every day.
Yeah.
And then in the summer, it's hot, and then it rains around noon every day. But then here, you never know what you're going to get.
You got snow, sleet.
Yeah, we got
hail.
snow last week. We got sunny and 85 on Saturday. So, I mean, it's great here. It's like rolling the dice every day. You're not sure what you're going to get.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, Jordan, Coach Brown said that you made major strides this spring. What would you say to that? Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think with the whole offensive line, we all competed with each other, made each other push each other this offseason. As well with the D-line, Barley could agree with that also.
For sure.
I think we all push each other on both sides of the ball to be better.
Definitely. I think the dynamic between the offensive defensive side, because you got a bunch of dogs on the D-line, Dante Stills, Jordan Jefferson, Taj, myself. On the offensive line, you got Frazier, you got Doug, you got Wyatt. It's just that competitiveness really pushes each other to get better.
You know, and that was one thing throughout this whole podcast. I know you guys touched on it well. Just a lot of positive energy, good chemistry with this team.
Yes, definitely.
Right?
I mean, that's what you're hearing right now. On the field, it's a different story.
Well, of course, it should be, right? Y'all should be wanting to beat each other down, but right. At the end of the day, y'all love each other.
Yeah, for sure.
Jordan, what was the spring game like for you? It was beautiful out, 12,000 fans. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better day.
This is my second spring game, so I'm going into my third year. It was a great experience, good seeing the Mountaineer fans come out. I'm not going to lie, I still think the blue team won, but we're going to take it how it is. Give it to the go team.
Scoreboard.
He dropped a scoreboard. It is official.
I still think offense won, but I give it to the go team. It was a great game. Good energy from both sidelines. So, yeah.
Brian, what about you? I know your bread and butter throughout your career has been blocking. You're a big blocking tight end. You had one catch for 10 yards. How do you think your first spring game here went at WVU?
I feel like it went well. I mean, I'm not really sure how much I played, to be honest. I felt like I did more watching than playing. But, no, I felt like it went really well. I had a lot of fun. And then it was just great to be in front of our fans for the first time. So, yeah. And like Jordan was saying, we had great weather, and it was just a lot of fun to be out there.
What was it like for all of you guys? I mean, this is a relaxed atmosphere. There was a little competition, at halftime. I mean, how much fun is it, Jared, to go out there? And, I mean, you're playing. Now, granted, you guys obviously defensively, it's like a little two-handed touch. It's not exactly playing, but just that kind of fun, relaxed atmosphere with a little bit of football mixed in.
I think, especially Saturday, since the turnout, I expected like a little less fans. I don't know why, but like when I came out there, it was a really good turnout. I say probably like 10,000 people came. So it was really nice being able to experience that atmosphere. Although it was two-hand touch, we still got pretty good work in. So it's always nice to go on the field, especially the game field, because you don't get many opportunities to do that. So.
No, I know before the game, some of the guys who have played here that are in the pros talk to you guys, right? I know
Yes.
Will Greer was in town.
Will Greer, Carl Joseph,
Tony
Fields,
Fields.
who I played with my sophomore year. So
What
that was nice.
did they tell you guys, and how cool is that these guys came back, talked to you, and it just gives you something to work towards?
So I actually played with Tony Fields too also not too long ago, and it was just playing with Tony Fields, it was a great experience. And now with him being with the Cleveland Browns, he just gives me a different view now. He shows me that like playing for this team it's really something at all positions. He's a special teams guy that's playing with the Browns, and like just encouraging other guys to take special teams serious. That's something we talked about, and I really think that's something that most guys should really do here.
And then Trayvon Wesco was back in town. I'm not sure if you had a chance to meet him. He's a tight end for the Jets. Did you have a chance to meet him or talk to him at all, Brian?
I did not. There was a lot of people here, to be honest, and I couldn't meet everyone. But I did look forward to meeting him eventually, and I have been following his career. He's been doing really well, so I'm excited for him and what he does this year.
Absolutely. All right. Each of you guys, tell me who in your mind, offense, defense, really stood out in the spring game. Jordan?
I want to say somebody off the line, but I'm gonna just give it to one of the skill guys. I'm gonna say Bryce Ford-Wheaton.
Okay.
I think he had a great game, explosive plays, and that's what we're shooting for this year, explosive plays, and he did great at doing that.
Absolutely. Brian, what about you?
I got to go with Preston Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, he balled out for sure. Had a great day. He made himself a lot of money getting that scholarship. That's for sure.
I'm gonna go with that too. Also, I'm gonna tag his Preston
that was
Fox.
my choice. I was gonna say Preston Fox. I was also gonna say Aubrey Burks. He had a pretty big time interception in the first half, so that was pretty big.
What's it like in the locker room for you guys when a walk-on goes to a scholarship player? I mean, do y'all cry? I watched this video and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, Waterworks. It's so special. The families in town. What's it like for you guys as teammates to see a guy like that get rewarded?
It's actually a great feeling because I came in with Preston Fox, so just watching him grind every offseason to work for what came this past Saturday, it was just a great feeling for everybody, the whole class, the whole team. So I know he's going to enjoy that and take advantage of that.
Did you guys know that was coming?
Not at all.
No.
Yeah, not at all surprised.
With that being said, Preston comes to practice every day with the mindset that I'm going to show out and I'm going to earn everything that's given to me.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
although it may not have been expected, eventually it was going to happen just
knew.
based off the way that he works.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, very well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. You're watching Climbing the Mountain, a video podcast all about WVU spring football, which has now wrapped up. Brought to you by Kpogba Insurance, encircling you with coverage. All right, spring game is over. You have a little downtime. What do you guys do with that downtime? And what do you do to relax, but still obviously stay in football shape mentality, but kind of get away? What do y'all do?
So my plan is, since we're out of football now, take a little trip home, feel me, go visit the family, see a few coaches from high school, come back here and work out with Mike Joe.
where you from?
You know I'm from Maryland. Come on now. It's Maryland.
Let
too.
them know.
It's Maryland. Yeah.
Brian, what about you?
I'm going to go home for a little bit, and then I'll just be back here getting back to work.
And home is Texas, is that right?
Not right
Not
now.
right. You've lived in 4 different states, right?
Yes,
so
yes,
you're
ma'am.
well traveled. Where is home right now?
Right now, it's where my mom is. So she's back in Oregon right now.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if I'll get to see her over break. But my brother, he actually lives in Connecticut right now. So I'm going to drive up and see him.
Jeez, you got places all over the country.
Yeah,
to go,
all over the
don't you?
place.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously you've moved around a lot personally. So moving schools, probably not such a big deal for you, right?
Not at all.
Not at all. You're used to it. Jared, what about you? What's your downtime look like?
I'll be back home in Atlanta. I have
Yeah.
a trainer down there that I used to work with during the month of May, so that's where we spend most of my time.
You gonna get in the studio somewhere?
Yeah, I might drop an album or something like that. Something slight.
Now, did you say that Jordan can drop some?
Jordan can drop some. He got a little. You feel me?
All right, so look, Bartlett came up to me one time and spit a whole freestyle out to me, and I thought it was Drake's. Because Bartlett's nice like that.
That's
so.
how good it is. Exactly.
So if anybody, we gonna just keep Bartlett on the. You feel me? If you
Nah,
want to
Well,
drop something
like
else,
he and Christian Stokes earlier in the podcast, they did drop some lines.
so if you want to drop something else, shit.
Usually when I'm in the studio, Jordan White is with me. He's my main man. He actually writes my lyrics.
ghostwriter?
For me, so yeah, he's that guy.
you're not a ghostwriter anymore, you just gave yourself away.
Exactly. I just gave him out, so you got to be an artist now. Let me hear something like 2 lines.
2 lines.
2 lines. Keep it clean though.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't got nothing on top of my head, but you feel me? I'm gonna just say something. All right. We in the stadium right now. We calling with Bartlett, and I'm
Okay.
calling with LeBron, and we making a hit. It's a podcast. You know, we finna get up rich.
Yeah.
I love it. It's awesome. That's going to be our intro now for the podcast. That's really
Don't
cool.
do that.
So how excited are you guys for the fall? I know you're going to have some practices over the summer. You're going to have some new guys joining, but just does the spring game kind of just get you a little pumped up and like, okay, yeah, we kind of see where the fall is going to go. Obviously a lot of work to be done, but does a spring game and having the success and the fun of that make you even more excited for the fall?
Yeah, I think a lot of energy done came with this spring game. Just being out there all together, seeing what the 1s and 2s could do. Because I know it's a lot of guys on that 2 that want to be in that 1 depth. And I'm a guy like that. I'm a guy who rotates with the 1 offensive line. And I know Polendey, when Mike O gets back, they're going to be in competition every day. So I just can't wait for the fall to come up for the energy. I know the energy is going to be high on both sides of the ball. And can't wait for it, yeah.
What about you, Brian?
Yeah, the fall is all I think about. So the spring game was definitely a good teaser. And then,
Sure.
yeah, that's all I think about.
What about you? I know you're ready to ball out for the
Yeah,
fall.
for sure. The thing about spring is it's a big confidence builder. It lets you know where you're at, where you have to work towards, and fall is really where you put everything together for the season. So
And I know you guys have that running clock inside the IPF countdown to days to Pitt. I mean, you're opening up with the biggest rival for West Virginia. What's that going to be like? I mean, you're starting off with like a big time opponent, a big time rival, at their field. You're not just opening up with some kind of a smaller school, but to start out right out of the gates. How cool is that, Jared?
I think at the end of the day, with rivalry games, rankings don't matter. The opponent really doesn't matter. It's just you go there. It's who's willing to put it all on the line to get the W. And I think our team's built to do that.
That's what Mountaineer fans want to hear. By the
End
way.
of story. That's it. Our team's built to do that.
You guys excited about that? Brian, I'm not sure how much you know about the rivalry being brand new, but it's a big one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about the rivalry, but I've played Pitt at Pitt twice, so.
Well, that's true. So
Yeah.
you know what it's like.
Yeah, I know what it's like.
Yeah, I gotcha. It's just a little more pressure now at WVU.
Yeah, just a little bit.
No pressure on you.
For me, I actually have a few other teammates over there, so like the rivalry has already started since they've been there, and I've known we're gonna play them for about how long? About 5 months now. So like once that dropped, I was already on it. We just looking to go 1-0 for this game right here.
Yep, that's
Move
right.
on.
All right. Well, Jared, you did a great job.
Thank you.
You nervous? With this?
Nah,
Which was better, this side or the other side?
Being on this side is actually less nerve-wracking than being
Okay.
on that side. So.
Well, that's good. Brian, Jordan, was this good?
Yeah,
Fun?
had
Did
a
he ask good
blast.
questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do this later in the future, maybe.
Maybe. I gotta keep working.
As long as you drop a tape.
Well, Jared, Jordan, and Brian, thank you guys so much for joining us. This is the last Climbing the Mountain podcast. We're ending with a bang. So thank you guys very much. Have a great summer, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys in the fall, and good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us.
All right. We've got more Climbing the Mountain coming up next. Stay with us. This Climbing the Mountain video podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. Welcome back to Climbing the Mountain, brought to you by Country Roads Trust and Encova Insurance. And I can tell you this segment is going to be quite entertaining. It's been entertaining off camera already. We have quarterback Garrett Green joining me in the studio. You ready to interview these guys?
Yeah,
Are you?
I think I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
All right. How did you feel that your spring game went, first of all?
I went okay. Left a lot of plays on the field, but I think as an offense, we were explosive and we did well.
All right. Short and concise. I like the answer. Very good. All right. So we also are joined by Andrew Wilson Lamp, and we have Lee Kpogba. And thank you guys so much for joining us. First of all, let's just go ahead and start off. How do you guys think spring practice went for yourselves and the spring game?
Okay, I'll take this. So I know overall, spring practice, like when I first came here, so my main thing was learning the defense, just trying to get used to it, studying my playbook, learning what I have to do and things like that. And as I got to learn the defense more, then I started focusing on more of my fundamentals and things like my footwork and, getting off blocks and being where I'm supposed to be at the right time, just doing my 111. And as spring continued, I definitely feel like I got better. Coach Combs definitely helped me out, with that. And so I feel like I got better as spring progressed. And in the spring game, we didn't run too much. We just ran basic defense. So, I really got to focus on my fundamentals, and I feel like I did my job. So, did what I was supposed to do. So
That's what
I
you're
feel like
supposed
that
to do in
went
the spring. Absolutely. Andrew, how do you think it all went for you?
I think my spring went really well. My main goal was to really get some more ball production. Coming from playing receiver in high school to switching to playing DB in college was it's very difficult. So I just had to learn to play with my back to the ball now. And I think my spring game also went really well. There's a couple mistakes that I had, but overall I think I played really well.
Coach Brown said in the spring that he expects you to be a factor in the fall. What does that do for your confidence to know that the head guy's like, yeah, this guy, he's going to be a factor and we need him to step up?
It boosted my confidence, definitely. It made me want to work harder. It made me want to come in, make sure I got everything done, make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And it also made me want to just develop myself as a better player because I know the guys above me are looking at me.
Lee, you bring a lot of experience. You came from Syracuse. You originally committed here, correct? And then when the coaching changed, you left and went to Syracuse. I know you had some problems at Syracuse. I know you've been very open about it. You went to a junior college after that and then landed back here. You've kind of come full circle. Talk about your journey on and off the field and what you've learned from that.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting journey for me. So, I was committed here back my sophomore year in high school. Then going into my senior year, the coaching staff changed. And so I decided to decommit and go to Syracuse. I was in Syracuse for 2 years. I played my sophomore year. At the end of my sophomore year, I kind of got in a little situation, so I had to go to a junior college for a semester. And it was a very humbling experience for me. It definitely made me realize how much that I need football, and that at a point in time I wasn't playing football, so I didn't participate in spring last semester. So when it got taken away from me, it just made me realize how much I love the game and how much that the football really changed my life. So getting the opportunity to play again and deciding to come back here the second time, it was it just felt like the right decision because it's not too far from home. The coaches, welcome me in. The players welcome me in. And the opportunity I had here, I feel like it would be the best opportunity for me. So,
Go ahead.
Open
Come
a
on,
question?
you're the questionnaire. Let's go.
little less intense. Road trip, right? Who are you not giving the aux to on the team? I'm taking myself out of this equation. I know both you guys would pick me.
It's crazy because I was definitely going to say him. Because Garrett, me and Garrett have the same class, so we ride together from class every day, and it's country music every day, and he's just like bobbing his head and vibing the whole time. I'm just like,
You don't strike me as a country music kind of guy, Lee.
I actually like country music.
Yeah.
I like all kinds of music. It's just his is kind of a little, more. I like kind of hardcore
Not
stuff.
every day, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Did Andrew answer your question?
Gigi, I'm in the car with you all the time, so I already know what he on. I would say for strong number 2 though, definitely Caleb Coleman. Bad music taste. Bad music taste.
When you guys go on the road, like for a road trip and that kind of stuff. Now, Lee, obviously you haven't traveled yet, but just talk about the dynamic of what you guys do being together. Maybe I could ask this, question to you and Andrew, obviously, but what's fun about being on the road? Obviously, it's all business, but do you get to have a little fun, kind of hang out a little bit?
I definitely think because, we spend the most amount of time with these 85, 100 guys, however many it is. So, all these guys are like family to me. So it's really like a big business family vacation where, you do have a job to do, but also you can have fun doing it.
What about you, Andrew? Pretty fun to go on the road. Obviously, like I said, you're trying to win a ball game, but there's a little fun involved there too.
Everybody that knows me knows that I'm goofy. I like to have fun. I like to joke around. So just being with my brothers, period, whether it's here or somewhere else, I enjoy it.
I asked this question to the other guys, and I'm going to ask all 3 of you this. Andrew, I'll start with you. Who do you think really stood out in the spring game? And you can't say yourself. Who do you think it would be?
If you want me to be totally honest,
Yes.
Preston Fox had a great spring game. I've been knew what P. Fox was about, but in the spring game and he got to show everybody else, that just sealed the deal. I'm very proud of him.
That's awesome. Lee, what about you?
Definitely, I say Preston Fox too. Because starting with the catch, it was an amazing catch, and I've seen him make many crazy catches in practice, but that one was just crazy. When I first got here, I actually didn't know he was a walk-on. Because I was just watching him in practice. I'm like, man, yeah. So seeing him do what he did in the spring game, I was very happy for him, and then the opportunity that he got after. Very excited for him. He deserved it.
Yeah, I definitely think Preston Fox. Just watching him from COVID summer to now, how much he's progressed. He's always been a ball player. So I'm just really happy for him. And I think you ask anybody to a man who had the best spring, who was the most productive spring, I think everyone would say P. Fox. And, we're all super, super happy for him that, he finally got put on scholarship. And, he's going to continue to make plays for us in the fall.
What's that like being in the locker room when a guy goes from walk-on to scholarship? I told the other guys in the booth, I'm like, I cried. That always gets to me because I know it's all that hard work rewarded. But what's it like for you guys to watch somebody get that reward?
I'm definitely happy for him. It's definitely a great thing to see. I practice with him every day. We compete every day. I see how hard he is working. So, to see how his hard work rewarded, it's a great thing to see.
I was ecstatic. Like you look at Preston Fox in practice, he go and try and catch a ball, sliding all over the place. He got rug burn starting at his wrist, going all the way up to his elbow, knee brace on, ankles taped up. Like he really be out there working. So when he got that scholarship and we was all in the locker room, I was like proud. I was really proud because I see him working and putting in that work every single day.
That's awesome. You got another question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Best dressed guy on the team. Best dress.
Best dressed.
Yeah. Who's always coming with the fi?
Who's always coming with the fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me think about this.
Yeah, let me think about this.
What's the fi? I know the fit.
I don't
Is the
know.
fi like a shorter version of the fit?
I've heard that before.
Fire.
It's just like
Fire is
like-
shorter
Oh,
version.
fire.
Fire
Oh,
is
the
fire.
fire. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought we were going like short for fit.
No, fire.
I am apparently not hip. I apologize.
It's all
All right,
right.
who's bringing the
it's all
fire?
right.
I don't know if I've been here long enough to identify the best dressed on the team. You know,
Honest
so
answer. Honest
I
answer.
think I have an answer for you at the end of next semester.
Okay.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Going off the top of the dome, I think Brandon Yates is pretty fresh.
Yeah.
He
That's who I was gonna.
he stayed fitted up.
Yeah.
I can't lie about
What
that.
what makes him fresh?
He got the ball cap. He's always
Yeah.
got the.
Always got the ball
fitted
cap, nice
baseball
little,
cap.
just something that you look at him, you like, shoot, that's a fit right there.
That's
you
a
know?
fit. That's awesome. What's you got a little time now after spring ball. What does downtime look for you guys? I mean, I know you still have some school left, but I know you have to stay in football shape physically, mentally, but a little downtime. What does that look like for the three of you?
I mean, I'm definitely gonna go back home and spend a lot of time with my family. Being up here, kind of far. We're all kind of far away from home. We're not born here, so definitely gonna go spend some time with family. Go enjoy family time with that, because whenever we get back up here, it's time to work because the season's right around the corner.
Right. Lee, what about you?
Yeah, definitely. That's the main thing for me, just getting to see my family, because I haven't seen them in a while, and I've been just playing this profession. You don't really get to spend that much time with your family, so every chance that I get to see them, I always love to spend time with them. But when I go home, I'm definitely gonna keep getting that work in. So can't forget, because when you come back, we're gonna have a pretty hard 8 weeks summer workout. So got to prepare my body for that too, also.
Yeah, well, your muscles are almost busting out of your shirt there, so you better keep that workout.
It's the extra medium, I think. Oh, smash!
Andrew, what does downtime look like for you? I love you guys. This is awesome.
I think I'm gonna go home and spend some time with my family, but I'm not gonna take this more of some downtime. I still have a lot of work to do as far as my body. Everybody can see it. I've heard comments about it. I still got to increase my weight, so I'm gonna spend a lot of this time just staying in the weight room, making sure I eat, making sure I get my body bigger than what it is now.
Now, Lee, you were born in Ghana. I know you said you haven't had a chance to ever go back. Do you keep in contact with any family there? And would you like to go back one day?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to go back, to see where I'm from, just because I never got to see it. Well, not that I can remember. So my mom actually still stays. Well, actually, my family is Liberian, but I just happen to be in Ghana. I just happened to be born in Ghana because that's where my mother was at the time. Wow. So my family is actually Liberian. So my mom actually still stays over there in Liberia. So,
wow. So do you have dual citizenship?
Basically,
Yeah.
So
that's really cool.
So yeah, I'm gonna eventually go back.
Very worldly.
Yeah,
I love it. All right, I see you. You've got what else you got for me?
I got a few more. All right, if y'all weren't playing football, what would y'all be doing? Lawyer, doctor.
If I wasn't playing football, I mean, honestly, I would still see myself around the game of football. So I would probably be a coach or something, just because I just love the game so much, Probably coaching.
I think if I wasn't playing football, I would still be involved in the game as well. Going through high school, I really wanted to be a nurse. I got certified, STNA certified whenever I was in high school. Never got to finish my phlebotomy because I graduated early. So if I wasn't playing football, I think I'd probably be a nurse, to be honest.
That's really cool. Any kind of specialty or just overall? Just
a nurse.
Just a nurse. Good for you. I don't know if you want to work with children or be in the ER, but no, that's commendable. That's amazing, actually.
I would like to work with children.
Yeah.
That would be my preference.
Yeah.
I would say.
Pediatrics.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. What else you got for me?
I gotta go again.
Yeah.
Golly.
Welcome to my world, Garrett.
Uh-huh.
Sheesh.
Last one. Fate of the universe on the line. One phone call to make. He has to pick up. Who are you calling on the team?
That I know for a fact they're gonna answer their phone.
They have to answer the phone, and they're gonna pull up.
I'm probably gonna call my dog Tone Tony Matthews.
Tony Matthews.
I mean, he always answers the phone when I call him, so yeah.
He's big on social media, so I know he always has his phone with him.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Everybody know I ain't gonna sell out my man. I'm definitely calling Caden Prather. You know? Fate of the universe, KP. Come on, man.
Who would your phone call be? These are great questions, by the way, Garrett.
See, I would go with my roommate, but he's never on his phone.
Who's your roommate?
Reese Smith.
Really?
He rarely has his phone on him.
Well, that's good too. You know.
So, so I'm thinking deep in this question. I'll probably go Grayson Milosevich. He's usually around his phone, but if Reese is around his phone, I'll pick him. But since he's not really around his phone too much, I'm going Grayson.
All right. Well, this is really good. Did he have good questions for you? He had really like deep questions, like stuff I haven't ever asked the guys. I got to step up my game.
I was thinking about it last night.
Well, you did a good job. Well, Garrett, Andrew, and Lee, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have a great fall. We're excited to start at Pitt. Y'all better be revved up. Big rivalry game.
Yep.
You ready, Lee?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Garrett, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You were
Thank you, guys.
awesome.
Thank
Awesome
you.
job. Awesome job.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we are going to have more on Climbing the Mountain brought to you by Kpogba Insurance and circling you with coverage. Our final set of 3 athletes coming up. We'll be right back. This Climbing the Mountain video podcast is brought to you by Kpogba Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Kpogba Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. Welcome back. It is the final player segment on Climbing the Mountain, the final player segment of the entire 6-episode podcast. And joining me inside the studio is Sam James. He is my special co-host for this segment, wide receiver. First of all, let's talk about the spring game. You had this great touchdown catch.
Yeah.
And then you had this celebration. Excuse my French. What the hell were you thinking?
I mean, I don't know. I was just having fun out there.
Yeah.
So, like, that was the first thing that came to my mind whenever I got the touchdown. So I just decided just to get down and do the celebration. I've seen so many receivers do it in the past, so I was like, why not?
Yep. All right, so but we got it out of your system, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to do it in the fall?
Not going to do it in the fall. That's
okay,
a,
that's
a
good,
flag.
because you did get a flag
Yeah.
for it, but that's all right. You got it out of your system. Have a little fun. That's what it's all about. All right, joining us on the other side of the glass. Are you nervous to be on this side of the glass?
Kinda.
No, don't be. He came prepared. He has a notebook with questions. I love
I'm ready.
it.
I'm ready, but I'm still kind of nervous.
We welcome back Dante Stills, and we have Lanell Carr. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. So I'll just start with the same question I've been asking all of the guys, and I'll ask this to you as well, Sam. How do you guys think spring practice went as a whole and the spring game?
I mean, personally, I feel like it went smooth, and I feel like we're having fun competing every day, showing the coaches what we got, and just putting the pieces together. Like, and now we got to add more coming in the summer. So we're just taking it day by day. It's kind of what it is. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like we got better every day. We competed every day. I felt like we had a good spring.
How was the spring game? I mean, you had beautiful weather.
Amazing.
12,000 fans. I mean, was that fun for everybody?
Yeah. I had fun, but the worst part, I don't want to say the worst part. The worst part was it was just so hot. Like, cause like we're used to practicing in like kind of cold weather, honestly. So it kind of shocked all of us. I ain't gonna lie, but it was fun though for sure.
Yeah, Sam, how do you think spring ball went for you and the game?
It went well. Like Dante and Lanell said, we competed each and every day. Like, we really got after each other each and every day. So that was the fun part, just be able to compete with my brothers and just grow as a team. Right. To be able, on the spring game, be able to showcase what we've been working on for those 15 practices.
What's it like with that new offense? This kind of explosive Graham Harrell offense, first time kind of implementing it in a game. Did it feel different?
It always felt like we were able to do that, but we just needed the right pieces, and we got them now. So it was exciting. It just like you kind of remember like old West Virginia. Like it was, you run down there, I'm just gonna throw it to you, bombs every play. You know what I'm saying? So it was just exciting to know that we could get back to that this season and give our fans something to look forward to when they come to watch us play.
Absolutely. All right, take it over with your notebook.
Okay, I got one. This is just get to know y'all a little bit more. Like Dante, Lanell, like what is y'all why? Like what made y'all go so hard this spring? Because they played incredible this spring. What made y'all?
I mean, personally, I'm doing this for my family. I want to go hard for them. I'm close to home. I'm 30 minutes away. So, just every chance they get to come see me play, I want to give it all I got. So, I just do it for them, honestly. And I do it for you guys. I'm doing it for the team, the state. So.
Yeah, my why is for my family. I'm from St. Louis, so I'm pretty far from home. So,
They my motivation, so that's why I went so hard.
Who do you guys think? I've asked everybody this. All three of you, I'll ask this. Who do you think really stood out in the spring game? If you had to pick one person.
P Fox.
P Fox.
That's the most popular answer.
That's the one. He made plays all spring, and I feel like he very well deserved of that scholarship. Like he definitely deserved it.
Facts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel the same.
You agree,
way.
Sam, or who would you pick?
Nah, I'm definitely picking P Fox just from him being a receiver, and I'm practicing with him each and every day, and I'm seeing how hard he is working each and every day. So he really deserved that. So.
Did you guys? I mean, you guys are with him every single day. Mm-hmm. Did you know that was in there? Like, are you guys shocked? I think a lot of the fans were shocked, right?
I mean,
we see it every day.
All spring, and then he did it last year, even during the fall. Like he was making plays, so it's kind of the norm, for him now. So,
what was it like to be in the locker room when he got put on scholarship?
It was a great feeling.
Did anybody cry? Any tears?
Nah, it was just like we're all
happy. You guys
happy.
are heartless. Come on, I cried.
Nah, it was like we're all happy, just happy for him. I feel like we all knew, it was coming eventually, just because based off what he's been doing. So. It was just in due time, and it came the right time.
Yeah, that was fun to watch, for sure.
Yeah, it was.
All right, Sam, what you got next?
So, I just want to know, like, if y'all set goals for the spring, like, did y'all make those goals, and if not, why?
Not every goal. I mean, I feel like I met the goals, but I feel like I can improve on it even more. So, during this month of May, I'm gonna do extra work, train, stuff like that, and then during the summer when we do this. I'm just going to improve even more.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I accomplished some of my goals, but not all my goals. I still got some stuff I need to work on. So,
Lanell, Coach Brown said that you are one of the best pass rushers on the team. What does it mean when the head guy, kind of calls you out on that in a good way? And how much does that motivate you to make sure that he says the same thing about you in the fall?
It means a lot, and it really motivated me. It made me want to go even harder. But I know I still got a lot of things to work on as a pass rusher.
Dante, I wanted to ask you this last time that I had you in the studio. I know you obviously came back for a final year. You could have gone to the NFL draft. The fact that Darius didn't get drafted when I think everybody expected him to. Now he's with the Chiefs. He signed as a unrestricted or as a free agent with the Raiders. Now he's with the Chiefs, but. Did that have anything to do with your decision, like seeing your brother who was so successful and he didn't get drafted when I think everybody thought he would because he's so talented? He's in the system now, but did that get into your head at all to say, you know what, maybe I'll just come back?
Yeah, a little bit. I had my talks with him and my dad because they've been through it. So, they just gave me their best advice. They just told me just do what's best for you. And just seeing what Darius went through, it was very it was sad, and because we all expected him to get drafted, and it was just a scene that I just don't want that to happen to me, and so I came back. I want to be. I mean, either way, getting drafted or undrafted, I just want the opportunity. So I came back just to improve it, so I can improve myself going into the NFL. So.
How is your brother doing?
He's doing great.
Yeah. Excited?
Yeah. He loves Kansas City, and he's doing OTAs and working out and stuff right now. So he's enjoying it.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, what else you got? You're a great question asker.
Well, I got this one for Lanell. So, this is a story. So, I'll say it was during the season. Me and Lanell came over. We playing Madden. I beat him by 21, maybe.
Oh, you got.
But I just
21,
21, maybe. But I want to know, do you consider yourself one of the best Madden players on the team? And would you, stand on that against anybody?
Rematch.
Yeah, I got better. So I think I'm the best Madden player on the team.
Okay. What about 2K?
Oh yeah, I'm like that in 2K.
We might have to play. We might have to
do that there, yeah.
Do you guys all play against each other?
Yeah.
And more bragging rights?
Yeah, more bragging rights.
Bragging rights just to say I'm better than you at Madden.
Well, who's the best
Me.
on the team?
Let me.
Lanell. Okay.
I maybe told a little fib when I said I beat him by 21. He may have beat me by 21.
Thank you.
Now the real truth comes out. I gotcha. Dante, that Greedy gang, this is your last time with them. You're coming up. Spring ball's over, your last spring game. just maybe like your emotions knowing that, you're kind of like, these are all of your lasts leading up to the fall.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it too. Like even after the spring game, I was like, yeah, it's really my last one. Because last year I had the opportunity to come back, so it didn't really feel like my last one. Cause I just had the opportunity to come back, but it definitely feels like it. It's sad. I love this team. I love just playing here. I grew up here, so it's just always been in my heart. So now it's going to end. I just got to really just cherish every moment. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Sam, how excited are you guys for the fall? You get a little taste in the spring. Obviously, you can't go like as hard, right? The defense, you two-handed touch and that kind of stuff. So it's football, not full football, but how much hungrier does the spring game, spring practice make you for the fall?
It makes me even like during the spring, I'm like, man, I can't wait, till I be able to play again and stuff like that. And we played on the field Saturday, and it just brought back so many memories and like plays I made in the past. And I'm just like, oh, I can't wait because this is my last opportunity, to be able to go out there and play in front of 60,000, my closest friends and stuff like that. So it just makes me even more hungry each and every time I think about it.
And opening up with Pitt.
Oh my!
At Pitt. I mean, let's just go rival right out of the gate. What do y'all think about that?
Oh, it's a game I can't wait.
Yeah.
100. How many days?
About 129.
He's got the clock in the IPF.
Yeah, I'm ready for them because I grew up just hating Pitt.
Yeah.
I know not really. I mean, I knew the reason, but you're little. You're just like, okay, I hate them because everybody else hates them.
Right.
So that I've been ready for a while. So.
Lanell, do you know much about that rivalry?
No, not really though.
Well, you're about to find out.
Yeah, I'll be ready.
What about you, Sam? Like opening up with a rival. I mean, that makes it a little more special when you're opening up with a team that just everybody hates, the fans hate. I mean, it's not just like, kind of maybe a smaller school like a lot of times schools open up with. I mean, this is like, you got to lay down the gauntlet right from the beginning.
I'm excited for it. Just knowing that like all our fans don't like them makes you even want to play even harder for them because it's like, I'm not just playing because it's a game on the schedule. I'm playing because like our fan base, our state really don't like Pitt. So it's just like, it's a rivalry game, and that's how I'm going to take it. Like, I don't like them either, but I'm from Georgia, so, like, when I came up here, I didn't know anything about, like, Pitt, West Virginia. Right. Until I got up here, everybody's talking about, like, our rival across, the bridge or whatever, Pitt, this and that. And so just hearing those stories made me not like them. Yeah. Just by association, so I don't like them either. So.
Well, you can't come to here and like Pitt. I mean, that's just like they'll just kick you off. They'll take your scholarship.
Pitt,
true story.
All of them.
You're watching Climbing the Mountain video podcast brought to you by Country Roads Trust and Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage. All right, Sam, you are asking great questions. What do you have next on your list there?
I'm gonna go for Dante. Being a Fairmont native, West Virginia kid. Like, how important is it to you that you get to wear these colors?
It's actually very important because, this is the only Power 5 school, in the state. So everybody just wants to come here. And the guys I played with in high school to people I went up against, that's where we want to play is here. So just playing here is a big honor. I've seen a lot of greats, a lot of great people, a lot of great teams come through here over the years, and I tell people, like, what really made me, like, really come here is, like, of course, my brother, my dad and all that. But, was one game, I forget where I went to. Like, it was here. I forget who they played. But I just got cold chills that go down my body because I don't know if we scored or something like that. And I saw the crowd just go crazy. And I instantly knew. It's just like, it had to be the place. So it's in my heart.
Lanell, you played, I believe, 7 games last year. What do you have to do to take the next step? I know you said earlier that, there were a lot of things that you have to work on, but what do you think that you have to do to take that next step to get to that next level?
Be more a student of the game, study the game more, study the film, stuff like that.
Yeah. Obviously, spring ball is over. You guys said it was tough, right? Early mornings.
Yeah.
Good. It's going to condition your body well and all that kind of good stuff. Not that you have like total downtime. You still have class, and I know you still have to stay in football shape. But with spring ball being over, you get kind of a little bit of a break. What does that break look like for you guys? What will you do?
I mean, I'll be relaxing. I'm hoping to go visit, my dad and my brother. That's kind of like my goal. But I'm gonna be relaxing, just taking care of my body, make sure I'm staying in shape and working out. Just doing little stuff here and there to make sure I'm still good shape.
Yep. Lanell, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back home for a week, come back up and train.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Go back and see family and
Yeah.
What about you, Sam? What does that break look like?
My break look a little bit different than y'all's. I'm gonna be on the beach somewhere, relaxing.
You're gonna be where?
On the beach somewhere.
Oh.
I'm not gonna say which beach, but I'm gonna be on the beach somewhere, just relaxing for a little bit, and then after I'll probably go see my family down in Georgia.
I gotcha. We don't want the paparazzi to know where you are. You're keeping it like tight.
It's just a beach. I'm
Keeping it low.
A beach.
A beach.
Well, that's awesome. Well, do you have any more questions? I'll leave the last question to you.
Yeah, Lanell. So you said you from St. Louis, so that's like what 9-10 hours away.
Yeah.
Like when you first, because I know it was kind of hard for me to adjust because I'm 10 hours away as well. Like just being away from my family and stuff like that for the first time. Like how did you, transition from being at home with your mom and stuff like that to coming up here and you're 10 hours away where the only thing you could do is call her for real. So
I talk to my mom almost every day, but I just build a relationship with the guys on the team that make it seem like it just replaces like me being away from family and stuff. I got brothers here now, so that just help a lot.
That is a sweet question to end on. I love that. I'm a mom, so I would hope my son would say that. So, Lanell, Dante, Sam, thank you all so much. Was this cool being on this side?
No, it was.
What do you like better, this side or that side?
I like this side.
All right.
Control.
Give more control. They were awesome questions. Gentlemen, thank you all so much for joining us. And this was a great way to end this podcast. And we appreciate it. And of course, we'll be rooting for you. And you better beat Pitt.
So
Do it.
Right.
No, it's all good. Have fun. And we'll be rooting for you.
Sweet, you know that song.
Yeah, you know that song.
I ain't gonna say it.
We gotta
but
keep
y'all-
it clean.
You know the song.
That's right. All right, coming up next, I'm going to let Wolf come back in the chair and we're going to wrap up this whole Climbing the Mountain video podcast series. We'll be right back. All right, so that is a wrap on Climbing the Mountain. Wolf, glad to have you back in this seat. I really could not have done this whole podcast without you. I really do appreciate you.
Well, thank you very much for that. I don't believe you, but
No,
thank
I
you.
swear. Literally, you played football. Like, you have the knowledge. I just tell the stories. You have the X's and O's. So from the bottom of my heart, I couldn't have done this without you.
Well, thank you very much. And I guess we all make a good team. The players there talking and how great the guys did when they came in here with you, prepared with questions.
I know, right?
Have some good humor and good stuff.
Yeah.
So, again, this whole experience has been nothing but a pleasure. 6 shows. 36 or 35, I don't even know what the number is, of all these NIL, Country Trust, representatives, and you guys are doing such a good job. So thank you to you, Stephen Ford, Taylor, and Oliver, Ken Kendrick, everybody who's doing the trust, because this is so needed. Name, image, likeness is here. It's here to stay, and we better be good at it.
That's right. And we're trying. We
are.
are definitely trying. So I have a whole list of thank yous I have to go through. First of all, Austin Michaels, who put our entire video podcast together. We thank him for doing this each and every week. Ross Justice with the music industry program at WVU. Punches all the buttons here so that we don't have to. And Josh Swiger, also a music industry professor who helped us as well. Neal Brown and the entire football staff and all of the players for this access, unprecedented access to all of these players. Our GM, Stephen Ford, who you just mentioned. Our administrative assistant, Taylor Haywood, who has to make sure that all the athletes are happy and signed up. So she's done a great job. And of course, Wolf, I thank you. And I thank all of you guys for watching, and just stay tuned for more content from Country Roads Trust. So finally, this is it. Episode 6, the last one of Climbing the Mountain video podcast, brought to you by Encova Insurance. We are signing off, and we thank you for watching.
Thanks for joining us on this edition of Climbing the Mountain, presented to you by Country Roads Trust and Encova Insurance.